at New York Comic Con in the Newsarama Skybox. I'm Grace Randolph.
I'm Justin Tyler.
And we're here with Rob Paulsen.
Howdy.
Thanks for joining us. So you are the voice of Donatello in the current Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles show.
I have the good fortune of being Donatello in the current hit iteration.
Yes, indeed.
Of the and hit is not hyperbole, folks. It's really big.
Yeah.
We just premiered our second season today, I believe. It's a big deal, an incredible thrill.
But you were involved the first time around.
I was before
before
probably any of the people in here were born.
Oh,
which is disconcerting. Were you a fan?
Oh yeah.
Thank you. Yes, I'm a two-time turtle, of which there, I believe, is only one.
Yeah, you're the only one.
I'm relatively unique.
Why did you switch turtles?
Well, it's so nice of you to ask. And it's kind of sweet because that suggests that I had a choice. The truth is that I was fortunate enough to be Raphael in the original show 25 years ago. And then it ran its course, which was a long course. We did almost 200 episodes,
that was
9 years or something. And then cut to 25 years later, Ciro Nieli and the fine folks at Viacom/Nickelodeon said, we're doing this again. And they called me to read for another turtle. It was kind of sweet because when my agent called, I'd been doing a lot of work for Nickelodeon. I did Jimmy Neutron and Fairly Odd Parents and
You've
Danny
done
Phantom. I've been pretty lucky.
You are Nickelodeon.
I've been around.
He is cartoon.
I've been around for a while.
Yeah,
People don't know this, but I was the entertainment at the Last Supper.
Yeah.
In those days, I was Shecky of Arimathea. And Jesus, what a party. Anyway, I was kind enough to get a call to read for the new iteration of Turtles. And I told my agent, I said, do they know who I am? Not out of arrogance, but because I knew there had been several iterations of the show after I did the original that had nothing to do with the original cast. So I didn't want to get in there and have them be embarrassed and say, oh, that's right, he was Raphael, and let's throw the old guy a bone while he's there, And so she called back and said, no, they really do want you to read. They just think you'd be better for their vision of what they want from Donatello. And here we are, a year later, and I've been working on the show for a couple of years. So my son told me that I will probably end up being a Jeopardy question someday.
Oh, so that's a great
and if I live to be 100, I can knock out all 4 turtles, I think.
What's the difference between Donatello and...
Well, if I may answer
clearly
this.
the older one is much...
Raphael is cool but rude.
Thank you.
And Donatello does machines.
There you go.
So would you
Very
say
nice.
that you've learned machines over this time?
I have. As a matter of fact, I think the answer really seriously to your question is that Donatello, while he is the sort of brains of the group, in this new version of the Turtles, or he's a year old now, but the latest version of the Turtles, he's definitely got more juice behind him too. I mean, he isn't just the geek.
Yeah.
He also has an enormous crush on April O'Neil. So in this version of the show, April is a contemporary, and there's a love thing going on between April and Donatello, and which I'm so grateful for, you guys, because at my age, I'm the old guy.
That's pretty...
The only time I get girls interested in me is if they're waiting on me. So, thank you.
That's pretty racy for an animated show. Interspecies
Well,
romance.
interspecies unrequited romance so far.
All right.
But interspecies now, in maybe in New York it's a felony. It is in LA County, but who knows?
Have you looked it up? You've looked it up?
I have,
Internet.
just to be sure. But it is very sweet, and it also adds a whole other wrinkle to the show. And we get actually a lot of female viewers because there's this cool love thing going on between April and Donnie. And now, this season, we have Casey Jones in, who has also a big crush on April. So there's this, it's a turtle soap opera, baby. Yeah.
Having done both shows,
Turtle soup opera.
It's just a mess of turtle soup.
Good.
Having done both shows, what is different? I mean, obviously 25 years, so I'm sure the process is a little different, but how has it changed?
Well, the process for me isn't any different.
Oh, really? It's just in the booth?
It looks different because, of course, it's CGI versus just traditional 2D animation, but my process is no different. It was a little bit odd at first when Andrea Romano, our 8-time Emmy-winning director, who also directed, I did a show called Animaniacs and Pinky and the Brain and those shows, and she directed all those. But the first time we started recording, and Andrea said, okay, she often calls us by our character names at work, so she'd say, okay, Raphael, we're doing, and it's like a very Pavlovian, I'm Raphael, and must speak like Raphael.
25 years fall away, and you're like, whoa.
So that was a little bit weird, but Sean Astin, incredible Sean Astin, is doing Raphael, and he's such a badass, does such an incredible job at it that it made my switch over to the other turtle pretty effortless. But it's like any other gig, you're lucky enough to do it with great actors who make you better, and Ciro Nieli and Peter Hastings and Andrea Romano, and I mean, just really great people. Kevin Michael Richardson is Shredder, and we've got Phil LaMarche, we've got so many good. May Whitman is April. Just really terrifically wonderful actors.
We were talking to fellow Nickelodeon show Legend of Korra, okay? And
Oh,
talking
yeah.
about the fact, you guys are in good company. You're both
No
in good
kidding,
company.
it's a fantastic show.
And we were talking about the fact that, now animation really is all ages. You have a lot of adult fans. How does it feel, as someone who's worked in the industry for a while, to see the fan base grow?
Oh, thank you for that. Is something I talk about all the time, because when I come to a situation like this, we were just talking about this very thing, is that I've been so lucky to do this now for a generation.
Yeah.
That when I come and see a group of people and I get to meet nice folks like you and I say, "Hello, nurse,"
Yeah, it's just like,
you do that, right?
Yeah.
That's what you do. And now look at your
I know. I believe
look at
me.
the color of your face. Your face is turning the same color as my name. No. Right?
Yeah.
And so I just have to do that. And you all smile.
Yeah.
It is so wonderful.
Guilty.
And what's really cool with Turtles is getting another chance to ride the Turtle van. I will come in and see people who are, say, 30, 35 years old, and they have told me a year, maybe 2 years ago via email or Twitter or another con, I heard about the new Turtles. I got to tell you, Mr. Paulsen, I'm a huge fan of Ninja Turtles. I'm not so sure about this. Now they go, "Oh my God, this new show is so great. My 9-year-old freaks out over Turtles.
Yeah.
I, Dad, freak out over the old Turtles and the new Turtles. So we watch the shows together, and it really is a cross-cultural hit. It is very unique to have a circumstance where you guys, if you had kids, could get as much enjoyment out of watching Turtles as they could. Because with all due respect, my son is now 29 years old, and luckily when he was a kid, we watched Big Bird and Sesame Street, which I loved because I love the Muppets. But if I had to watch Teletubbies, I'd have shoved a gun in my mouth. No way could I watch Teletubbies or Barney, for God's sake.
So you're saving lives.
I'm saving lives. See?
Yeah, she gets
really
it. She
sharp.
gets it.
Hello, Nurse indeed.
Yeah.
But no, that's the coolest thing. So thank you for asking that, because now I'm at an age, and my work is such that I have a fan base just for my work. And I was having lunch with Billy West and John DiMaggio and Maurice LaMarche, all these people who've been doing this a long time, but just the characters that I've been lucky enough to do have a fan base of literally 7 or 8 years old to 70.
I know, it's unbelievable.
It's
You've
the
done
greatest
so
thing.
many characters from wildly popular shows. What are some of your favorites? Your absolute favorites?
really like Carl Weezer from Jimmy Neutron.
Oh,
See, right?
Yeah.
Are you married? You want to be? I mean, I get chicks, but they're baby chickens, which is really disturbing. So I like Carl. I love Yakko.
Yeah.
I really like Pinky. I like Pinky a lot because I won an Emmy for that show, so that was very cool, and I still get to do a lot of stuff with my buddy Maurice LaMarche, who is the brain.
Yeah.
But Animaniacs was great. I'm telling you, man, Ninja Turtles is, that was a life changer. I mean, for a career changer, because when I got it on the initial show, nobody, and a fan asked me this today, did you ever have any idea? And of course, nobody did. I don't even think Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird knew that their goofy little comic book that they borrowed money from their grandparents to make was going to end up making them each $250 million or whatever it is, But it is the quintessential sort of American success story. A couple of guys scrounged money together, made their underground comic book for the best of reasons, for their passion.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that is still, I swear to God, I've been rich and I've been poor, and rich is better. But I'm telling you, the same thing that drives me then, or that drove me then, drives me today, and that is a real passion to do great work. And to get an opportunity with Viacom's money to do a show like this, and man, it's on the screen. I'm telling you, when you watch Ninja Turtles, the new show, the money is on the screen, and it looks blanking great.
Yeah,
it's like
great.
It's cinematic, man.
Yeah.
So to get a shot at it like that is just incredible.
What do you think of this movie?
Well, I think the movie is, first of all, it's following the same pattern as it did with the original show. We did 2 or 3 seasons. It was through the roof, international success, and then people thought, well, we got to make a movie, and they did. And I think they made 3 features that I know of.
Yeah.
But interestingly, now none of the voice actors from the cartoon show were involved in the features. And often the features would switch voice actors from show to show to show.
Yeah.
Which tells me something really important that I learned very early, and that is that the Turtles are the celebrities, not me,
Right.
not the other voice actors. That doesn't mean we're not good at our jobs, and we're an integral part of the job, but I don't draw them, I don't write them. And whatever it is that's magical about the Turtles, it's a very collaborative effort.
Right.
But the Turtles are the stars, not us. So as far as I know, we're not involved in voicing any characters in the movie, but you know, people got bent out of shape about Michael Bay this and Transformers that. Wait a minute, I don't care what you say, the Transformers made a ton of dough.
Yeah.
And it's called show business, folks, for a reason. And if the Transformers didn't make a lot of money, there wouldn't be a Transformers 2. And the same thing will happen.
Or 4 coming out this year.
Right. So,
next year, yeah.
But conversely, the fans are so intense when it comes to Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
And the fans are the ones who kind of put the kibosh on the first sort of version of the script. It got pushed back a while.
Yeah.
And that was due to, you know, the blowback from the fans because whatever was leaked or whatever they were going to do. So that tells me how incredibly powerful the fan base is.
Yeah.
Which then takes me back to this show, and the reason I believe that this show is so successful is that Ciro Nieli and his crew are about your age. They get it. They get the mythology, they get the ethos, they get how incredibly powerful the characters are to the fans, and they will never condescend to the audience.
Yeah.
They know that you guys love the show. Well, I'm not.
You're great.
I never would because they're so powerful. But way beyond action figures and money and all that, every time that I go to some situation like this, I will meet this weekend, and every other show I go to do live, I will meet somebody on whom the Turtles has had such a profound effect on their lives that, and this again, it's not hyperbole to suggest, there are people who have said to me, I was really not happy in my life, not thinking about living anymore, or my parents were getting a divorce, or my sister had leukemia, and the only thing that got me through was watching Ninja Turtles with my brother.
Yeah.
So now when I hear you say Turtle Power, dude, it takes me back to a place that was first difficult and then ultimately happy.
Yeah.
So how powerful are those characters, right?
Yeah.
And how you can never take them for granted. And Ciro and that crew does not. And I think that is exactly why the show is successul. You know.
That sounds wonderful.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks for sitting down and talking to us.
Thank you, guys. It's a pleasure.
Good luck with who knows what you're going to do next with your
Well,
voice.
I'm got to go give a urine sample for my parole officer.
Okay, great. Well, let's get
That's way too much information, isn't it?
He's standing right off camera, so let's let him do that.
Yeah.
He's
Thanks a
very
lot,
big.
you guys. It's really a pleasure.
Thank you guys, and stay tuned for plenty more from Comic.